Hello, welcome to Charter Local Edition Northwest. Today we're at the Capitol in Olympia and we're inside this elegant stateroom talking to your lawmakers about what they're working on for you. My guest today is 9th District Senate Majority Leader Mark Schoesler. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Great to be with you.
You're getting right into the nitty-gritty of the budget adjustments.
Right. As we are in the second half of this 60-day legislative session, the single most important thing is to pass a budget. And in this case, it needs to be a 4-year balanced budget that builds on the results of the past 3 years.
Now, this session is supposed to be short and just adjustments, tweaks, if you say. How do you feel you're coming along with the progress that needs to be made? There are some people wanting to get in and really kind of tear it apart and rebuild. Sometimes that happens.
There's always more asks than there are money, no matter how prosperous times are. So first, we have to focus on getting a 4-year balanced budget. The governor can put out a budget, and it doesn't have to be balanced for 4 years, so he can be a lot more things to a lot more people. Reality comes in the Senate, where we live with a 4-year balanced budget law that takes the peaks and valleys out of budgeting.
With the estimates that are coming into you and your projections of what's going out, where do you think we'll need to make adjustments?
Well, we're going through it line by line to see where we have flexibility. There's always places you've over budgeted or under budgeted. It was impossible to predict the fires this season.
Oh, terrible.
But the most glaring problem is the healthcare authority. Over this biennium and the next, the healthcare authority has put us $477 million in the hole through poor estimates, poor budget work. So we have to plan on that. They also never delivered on all of the promised grants and waivers from the other Washington. So that is far and away the largest problem with putting this budget together.
What are the social implications behind that that's driving that up, and then how do you intend to fix it? There's usually some people hurts on the other end of that when we have these course corrections.
Well, I think they did a very poor job of budget estimates. If a carrier tells you they're going to do it, they always err to the cautious side, and we used their data. Had we known they were going to be so much higher, we would have contained spending last June when we left. So we're going to go back and we're going to look at what could make it work better. Business as usual put us almost $500 million in the hole. Makes the forest fire bill look really small, makes DSHS look like small potatoes. The lack of accurate data and management at the healthcare authority is driving the bus rather than the things we want to do with education, public safety, and stimulating jobs in our economy.
Well, what do you think we'll have to get done in the next few days?
Well, we have to go through that budget with a fine-tooth comb like I talked about and finalizing. First, achieving a 4-year balanced budget. Then, what could we add to it, if anything? That's where we go forward. And the 4-year balanced budget law, no other state in America has it. But when we look at successful companies around the nation, they budget for more than 1 year or 2 year, and they plan a lot farther out. So our goal when we passed a 4-year balanced budget law was take the state off of the roller coaster of big spending and big cuts and get to a more stable, predictable model. So that's going to be our efforts as we go through a budget, is to make sure it is sustainable.
And I have one last question for you. For the viewers who might not understand all of these aspects, what does the budget really mean for them in their day-to-day operations, say for the average resident in Washington?
For many Washington residents, it's a portion of their health care. It's K-12 education. It's a higher education system that, for the first time in state history, we cut tuition last year. It's about their public safety. And if you put a budget out there, you'd like to live by it because they're tired of that roller coaster.
It gets to be old news, doesn't it?
It does.
Mark, thank you for joining us. We certainly appreciate you being here, and we thank you for watching. I'm Dana Cowley, and this is Charter Local Edition Northwest in Olympia.